All right, good morning, you guys. It is June 3rd, and our scheduled guest today this morning on the Kong Show unfortunately was unable to attend today. So I'm going to get right at it and welcome you guys to this week. Hope you had a wonderful weekend, a good start to June. You know, up here in Montana, it's funny because we can go from snow to 80 degrees in like 3 days, and that's just how we roll up here in the big sky. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dial right in, get this screen share going. I cannot for the life of me figure out this Facebook Live, unfortunately. I might try to do that. Oh, no. Rats. No go. So I'm going to, all right. So I'm going to get back in here. JJ Surprise is winding down his exceptionally well-deserved excursion up into Desolation Canyon. And Desolation Canyon doing his whitewater rafting. I think that's spectacular that he was able to take that step. All right, let's see here. I'm going to go and I'm going to talk and I'm going to use a PowerPoint on restaurants. And let's see what we can do here. Aha. All right. All right, how restaurants and hotels stand out from the rest. Let's giddy up. Enagic, the gold standard. The basis of vitality and long life is water. Now, Enagic is going to be celebrating its 45th year this June, this month, in 2 weeks from this weekend. And it pledged to realize a revolution in true health. And we are doing it and growing beautifully. All right, here's an example of all the machines. For over 4 decades, Japanese-based Enagic International has been the leading manufacturer of alkaline ionizers and water filtration systems throughout the world. These machines are used in hundreds of thousands of homes and businesses worldwide and are transforming tap water into the purest, healthiest alkaline drinking water available on the planet. We would like to take the opportunity to involve you, your business, in our efforts to spreading the word about this technology globally. It's important that we understand that OEM is original equipment manufacturing, and there's not a lot of companies out there that do this. And the reason this is so significant is because when it's an original equipment manufacturing company, that means everything is in-house. There's no outsourcing. So there's no compromising the assemblance of these machines for lesser value products. I mean, they get the highest level medical grade platinum, medical grade titanium, and there's a huge difference, like a 10 times difference between the food grade and medical grade. So that's really important to know. Even the packaging, the boxes, everything that they do, from assembly, testing, inspection, final packaging, everything ensures the absolute highest quality they can come up with for these ionizers. This is a little slow, but Again, Enagic's healthy technology will allow you to alkalize your body and bring back balance into your life, into your healthy lifestyle. Kangen water is delicious water created from Enagic's innovative water systems. And not only do these devices filter your tap water, but once they do that, they're able to produce the most powerful alkaline and acidic waters available through electrolysis. Entrusted with the highest responsibility and deepest trust to create quality products. Again, quality control. We'll get to some of that here shortly. Now in Japan, this is considered a medical device. The Japanese Health Ministry, their FDA, has selected Enagic machine as their only authorized water machine for internal and external medical treatments used in hospitals. Japan's equivalent of RAMA only endorses Enagic's technology as a preventive medical device. Now again, this is huge because I want you guys to realize that Japan has the highest standards on the planet in terms of what qualifies for a medical device. So that being said, this is a huge endorsement from the Japanese Ministry of Health, Labor, and Welfare. However, in order to get this technology into the United States, it is not to be used as a medical device. It is to be used as a health and wellness product. And that, my friends, allows us the opportunity to get these machines for as inexpensively as we can. You've got to understand, it costs about $1,400 for the actual labor or the actual assembly and just the parts of this machine, this technology. Then it costs about $300 just that I think they probably pay their laborers and their people, their technicians, their laborers. They pay their technicians, and then they build on $2,200, $2,280 on the backside for a commission for the distributors who are out there advocating, making people aware of this technology. It's not like we're selling cars and everybody knows what it is. What we're doing is we're exposing people to the power of water ionization from the highest standard setting company on the planet. So, excuse me, in effect, all your knockoffs, all your ionizers that are out there trying to compete for the market share of Enagic are a waste of time. I mean, Enagic is hands down the Rolls Royce of the industry, and there ain't nothing out there even in the Mercedes Benz or Audi capacity, man. They're all just Pintos. They're all junk. They're all garbage. None of these other knockoffs, I call them, they're never sharing water with people. They're never letting people experience the water physically to understand how profound the water can impact your body, because they simply do not have the same quality control, nor subsequently or consequently do they have the ability to make the water that Enagic's ionizers do. So Kangen water is patented, and you can't say just because you're drinking Cragmont or Shasta or Western Family Cola that you're having a Coke, because it's just two different things. And this kind of speaks to that. Here's some examples of some of our ISO certifications. And it's important to note that the ISO 1401 is a certified environmental management system. The ISO 9001 2000 is quality management system. And then the Det Norsk Veritas is the 9001 for another quality management system. These certifications are not handed out lightly, folks. Now, registration, use in the U.S. Certification, there's a supplemental register, there's trademarks, everything's been done on the up and up. Enagic has really set a true standard of just how to conduct a business and how to conduct a company with the highest of standards and the highest of integrity. Enagic's a member of the Direct Selling Association, and here's the certificate of copyright. And it's also endorsed by the Geriatric Disease Prevention in Japan. Environmental Award and Food Facility Registration, we have that. And that's huge because for restaurants, guys, and that's where this is going, for restaurants to be able to disinfect your countertops and clean your stuff and degrease your cooking surfaces and to degrease and emulsify all the oils and pesticides and herbicides off of your produce that you're serving to your clients. I have a hard time going to restaurants anymore, especially ordering salads, because I know they are not rinsing to any degree of effectiveness any of this stuff off. And as you've seen me and several of my colleagues in this Enagic mission show you how to soak produce in our 11.5 water, you see dramatically that this stuff is coming off, and it's coming off in ways that we never have imagined before, leaving a real slippery, colored, dirty looking water residue behind. And just to help you guys understand all that slipperiness, again, that is the oil and the wax-based chemicals and pesticides that we're putting on this stuff. So in order to understand this in a restaurant context, realize that there are already a small handful of chefs and restaurateurs throughout the U.S. that are learning the secret to more flavorful dishes, healthier menus, microclustered molecules. It's healthy, eco-friendly water that's gaining popularity in the food service industry daily. I mean, we are gaining people's attention all the time. And up here in Montana, I'd like to think that we could jump on board with that with respect to some of the high caliber restaurants that we have in this great state. And yes, I'm talking to you. There are many reasons to use this water in kitchens, bathrooms, and many other areas of the restaurant where you want to dissolve stubborn, problematic materials. There are benefits that apply to your staff and customers in extraordinary ways as well. Given the assets that will be demonstrated shortly, you will see why there are so many reasons to take advantage of this water and its wide range of abilities. So for cooking, 8.5 to 9.5 Kangen water, again, it's trademarked. It's microclustered water. The smaller molecule structure of the water makes it more permeable in its ability to transfer convection heat, minimize cooking time, reduce utility expenses, maximize flavor of any dish, less seasoning, perfect for people trying to reduce their intake of salt, and it reduces fish odors and keeps it moist and flaky. Now, I want you to understand about the permeability part of it. When I soak my chicken, my meat, my fish in the 9.5, it does a tremendous job with this smaller molecular structure up top on the top right-hand corner of this slide. It does a tremendous job to permeate the flesh and open up the flesh and allow the flesh to transfer heat better. And so it cooks better, it cooks more evenly. And you don't have to cook it as long either, I've learned. It's just been amazing. And it just, you can take a petite sirloin and turn it into a mouth-watering, melt in your mouth piece of steak. It's crazy. You rock that with a ribeye or a New York or anything, a filet mignon, if you will, T-bone. You just can't beat it. I've had meat that has been somewhat questionable. I've soaked it in the 2.5 and taken some of the odor out of that. But again, we'll get to that. The 8.5 and 9.5 do that primarily for fish just in general. Steeping, boiling, steaming with Kangen water allows green vegetables to retain their chlorophyll, keeping their color vivid, minimizes harshness, maximizes flavor, and it's easier to digest. And we all know we need that, where most of our digestive problems really seem to get to people, and there's no pills or anything out there that are really going to address that other than Kangen water and just eating more effectively, eating better foods, eating healthier, cleaner, fresher, more truly organic foods. World-renowned Vietnamese restaurant Anna Mandera in San Francisco, owned by actors Don Johnson and Cheech Marin. Managing partners, executive chef Kai Duong, used Kangen water in their kitchen to create the five-star dishes that made them famous. Chef Kai also uses Kangen in all of his organic Vietnamese noodle houses. He uses it to prepare the ingredients, cook his delicious pho shop soups, and to safely clean and sterilize his entire kitchen. The secret is out, folks. Now it's just a matter of making it public knowledge. Kangen improves beverages. You know, we've all seen the tea demonstration. For any of you that haven't seen the tea demonstration, what we'll do is we'll use several cups of water. The first of which we'll use tap water. We'll take a tea bag out of its package, we'll dump it in the cold tap water, it does nothing. It's cold. We all assume that that's not going to do anything anyway because we think heat is what draws the flavor out of the tea bag, when it's not the case. It goes back to the micro clustering of the molecules. Then we'll take that tea bag out of the tap water, we'll put it in a cup, and we'll pour 9.5 water over it. And you'll see immediately the properties of the tea are exposed and enriched, and they come out just dramatically bold, crisp flavor. And I can do that for 3 or 4 more cups of 9.5. Then I can take that same tea bag and put it in a glass of tap water again, and it's not going to do anything. The only reason it might do anything at that point is because it's already been wet, and it's going to get some of the residuals that were drawn out of that bag in the 9.5 glasses. So bottom line is we're using less tea, we're using less coffee grounds for the same flavor and strength, lessens the bitterness, and really improves the flavor. Mixing Kangen with juices is also incredible, because if you're looking at orange juice, apple juice, lemonade, any of those things, they're naturally acidic. Well, this alkalizes them to some degree, and it kind of neutralizes that acidity. So you're drinking a healthier frozen beverage. Alcoholic beverages, this is kind of fun. You know, I had a doctor I let use the water for a while, and at the end of it, I was looking for something medical, and all I got from him is it made his Johnny Walker Red taste smoother, and he got fuzzier lips on less Johnny Walker Red, and he never had hangovers. I thought that to be quite interesting. So it just prevents many of the harsh negative physical reactions associated with drinking alcohol by neutralizing the acid inherent in most beverages. This water is known as the cure for hangover in Japan. And believe me, it is. It's important to keep an open mind about trying new things to meet healthy demands of your guests. Provide a healthy option for your guests and shows forward progressive thinking. It's proven to dramatically decrease the amount of employee sick days. Get all your employees drinking Kangen, and they're going to be fresh as a daisy, and they ain't going to be pulling any, I was up all night sick, I can't come to work tomorrow, you know. And it shows customers that you are really concerned about providing the best quality product you can, as it not only applies to their dining experience, but to their health as well. And that's really important. The ionizer naturally reproduces water. with properties that are antioxidant rich, alkaline, and microclustered. As you'll see here on the scale of 1 to 14, that's pretty much your full range of your pH scale. And most of the stuff that we eat, about 80% of our diet today, is acidic. Good foods, meats, all kinds of vegetables and produce, they're mostly acidic. And it's, while that's decent and it's good for us to some degree, what we've come to terms with is that we're too acidic, and it's the acidity that is leading to dehydration and acidosis, and we're just not effectively addressing the alkaline needs that our body was born with and functions at a higher level with. So this is covering all those bases really emphatically, very simply. You're essentially always dehydrated because you drink hexagonal, unless you drink hexagonal microclustered water. This is because much of the water we drink goes to waste when it isn't entering our cells. So I like to share the illustration with people. If your cell wall is a chain link fence and you're drinking stuff that molecularly is the size of a softball, you're going to throw those softballs at that fence and they're not going to go through. They're just going to pile up. And when that piles up in your belly, we get waterlogged, we get sloshy, we get uncomfortable. Have you ever drank a glass of water and just pounded it in a hot summer day and still were thirsty, but you couldn't drink anymore because your gut was waterlogged? Well, that's because it's not penetrating your cells, and so you're not effectively getting hydrated. And when you use Kangen water, it shrinks those softballs down to marbles. And when you throw marbles at a chain link fence, they go through, effectively permeate the cell with the adequate hydration that our body desperately needs. All right, go green. This is a real awesome component of it because of what our world has come to in terms of plastics and just wasted products that we just don't need. By eliminating the need to use harsh chemicals to clean equipment and surfaces, these businesses are also becoming greener. Strong Kangen water can be used as a laundry detergent for washing towels and other cloth items that guests may use. This eliminates the risk of someone being allergic to the detergent because it is pure water, which is hypoallergenic. I also want to bring to note that Dan Edlund turned me on to a gal that makes soap chips, and you can take those soap chips, you buy them by the gallon, you can buy them by the quart. I ordered 2 gallons from her, and I think I'm going to have laundry detergent for the next couple of years because I used a couple pinches of these chips and put them in the 11.5 water, a 2-liter bottle of 11.5 water. And I've already done 4 loads, and I'm not even halfway through that bottle. And that was been in the last 2 weeks. So I've got soap coming for days. And again, it's just better for you all the way around. No chemicals, no smells, no perfumes, I should say. To mask everything too much with colognes and perfumes. Cleaning. The 11.5 water is environmentally friendly water. Again, you can use it for detergent, washing clothes, linens. Ability to dissolve and draw out substances, removes harsh taste of wild vegetables. I will tell you that I've used the 11.5 water directly on blood stains that are fresh, wine stains that are fresh, oil stains that are fresh. And it's done an amazing job of emulsifying that oil and just in the blood and the wine and just getting it out of there. And that's huge when, you look at those 3 respective substances. Once they get into some type of fabric or clothing, we're typically in a pickle and never going to be able to get it out. That's not the case with Kangen in most cases. Disinfecting the 2.5 water is for washing hands, sanitizers. It's replacing all your alcohol-based sanitizers in the plastic bottles that they come in. Kitchen surfaces, you can spray that on the kitchen surface on your countertops and stuff to prevent cross-contamination of vegetables and raw meats. You're sterilizing produce, meats, cookware, knives, cutting boards, dish towels. And again, you're eliminating odors naturally and effectively with no perfumes. The dangers of tap water are critical. I mean, and we're learning more and more about tap water as we move on in our society, and just the evolution of us learning how to move forward a little savvier, a little more on top of things, a little more on the ball, if you will. The water picks up lead and other contaminants. Tap water does during its journey to the faucet. Boiling the water only makes it worse. As the water boils off, the lead stays in there, further increasing the concentration of contaminants. Hot water heaters contain metals that corrode. Pipes have lead soldering. Hot water dissolves metals, especially lead. And if it's acidic water, then it's definitely going to do that, because our infrastructure is using metals, copper, brass, pipes of that nature. We've started going the route of some plastic pipe in the last several years, but still, at the end of the day, it's not always, that might be in your home, but not in your pipes that lead to your home, if I can clarify that. Bacteria, public service announcement extraordinaire. Water collects and precipitates impurities in the bottom of the hot water heater. This is a prime breeding ground for bacteria. Water cools down and creates a soup of bacteria, viruses, bacteria, and other organisms such as worms and eggs. Eggs that worms and insects lay thrive in this environment. Diseases caused from harmful organisms in tap water are amoebiasis, amoeba in the digestive tract that's invading the lining of the intestinal wall. Gastroenteritis is an infection that swells the lining of the digestive tract, giving you a stomach flu. And hepatitis A is infection of the liver caused by the hepatitis A virus. All right, ideally, public water sources are treated so that they will be relatively free of organisms that live in tap water. The same cannot be said of private water sources, however, such as wells. Also, there are some areas where sewage accidentally and unintentionally gets mixed into the treated water and where that water is not treated properly. In these areas, waterborne diseases become quite common. Tap water chemicals. Man, one of the main problems is chlorine. And that's one of the things that we've all really come to terms with. I was living in Billings for 9 years, Billings, Montana, and I don't want to highlight Billings by any means on the negative end of things here, but even more so for the restaurants in Billings and clinics and people in Billings that are serving people in some capacity. When I first started this thing, I went to a hot tub business, and got the little pool kit, the testing kit. So I used that, and there was also a chlorine testing kit on the other side. There were two little nodules or whatever that you could fill up. In the wintertime, I always found that the chlorine in the tap water in Billings was 3 times, 2 to 3 times, to be absolutely fair and truthful about it, than what's minimally required in a swimming pool. Because this testing was for a hot tub, and it said 1 part per meter, not per milliliter or whatever, was the description. And I'll be darned if it wasn't 2 to 3 times in the wintertime the amount of chlorine that was minimally required for a swimming pool. So, again, we're ingesting this stuff. It's no good at all to drink, nor is it to drink or to shower in. And that's where the NSPA comes in, but that's another conversation. So again, chlorine's proven to cause cancer, asthma, skin irritations. According to the National Tap Water Quality Database, 260 contaminants were found across the nation in residential tap water. And for more than half of that, there are no enforceable safety standards for more than half of those contaminants. So the drinking of chlorinated tap water has been finally officially linked to an increased incidence of colon cancer. We don't want that at all. Again, back to what the antibacterial component of it is with the 2.5 waters. Dangers of antibacterial products cause the formation of superbacteria. They just get more and more resistant to the antibacterial stuff that we're using. They just adjust and they adapt, and they lead to allergies. They destroy fragile aquatic ecosystems. Researchers are determining that antibacterial agent triclosan reacts with the chemicals commonly used to treat water. Triclosan, the most commonly used antibacterial, forms chloroform when it combines with free chlorine and chloramines, the most commonly used disinfectants in drinking water. Chloroform used until the early 20th century as an anesthetic until it was determined to cause sudden death and cancer. Most recently, research has shown that chloroform in small doses causes dizziness, fatigue, and headaches. In higher doses, it's likely to damage the liver and kidneys. Animals that ingest chloroform develop cancer of those organs. They're more prone to miscarriages, birth defects, and abnormal sperm. Yikes. And we're not even aware of this, folks. That's why this is so huge. That's just why we advocate this so much. Hotel uses. We've got some really nice hotels and resorts here in the state. You know, I think of Fairmont Hot Springs. To have something like this for their hotel guests would be powerful. You know, but drinking water sanitizes rooms, laundry detergent, cleaning supplies. This stuff replaces all of it. And it does it naturally and safely and effectively. Avoiding tap can be pretty expensive. If you choose to get a water filter, there's some things to think about. Is the water filter cartridge maintained and changed often? Is your tap head maintained well and changed at least once in 6 months? How many of you guys have refrigerators at home and you've got a filter in there and you haven't changed it in years, yet you tell people, you tell yourself and anybody at your house without even saying it, hey, that this water is safe because it comes out of my filter. We're more interested in showing off the convenience of having a fridge that filters water, quote unquote, than we are in really maintaining and keeping up the snuff with the filtration that's required to get out all this crap that I've just mentioned to this point. I mean, it's really critical that we start waking up and seeing that you start connecting the pieces to the puzzle. We've got something that really needs to be addressed in terms of approaching our health, and tap water and bottled water are not helping us in the least. Are you using medium rubber pipes to transfer from tap head to your pot? If yes, how clean is that? Is your soap food friendly? Does your water filter remove chlorine to a level where it cannot be detected before and after cooking? Again, I've had people offer me a glass of water at times at their house, and if I have my pH drops or my chlorine drops with me, I'll go get in the car. I'll say, yeah, but hold on a minute. And it's not to be obstinate. It's not to be ungrateful. I appreciate the gesture. I understand what they're doing, but at the end of the day, I want them to understand why I respectfully decline, because in most cases, these filters have not been changed in a 6-month window. So what they're doing is that the chlorine is starting to come back through the filter 6, 7, 8 out of 10 times. The filtered water I'm getting from someone's tap out of their fridge, out of their filtration system, the fridge shows traces of chlorine, and you can tell very clearly by the color. It's just obvious. We got to wake up, folks. Mineral water becomes particularly expensive to get it in place of all the water used for cooking, poaching, soups, steaming, beverages, sauces, bisques, things of that nature. You can't afford that. It's just too much. So you're looking at the price cost of like what Kangen water is versus Arrowhead delivery, Sparklets delivery. Culligan delivery. This stuff adds up, and they're making a pretty penny on our naivety about water, period. And that's why we in the world of Enagic that have embraced this mission to change lives, that's why we do what we do so passionately, is because we want to be able to address this and save people thousands of dollars over the course of 20 years. I mean, my family of 4 was saving around $3,000 a year. 10 years later, that's 30 grand that I would have spent otherwise had I not had this technology to replace a lot of the things that I was drinking. I just find that utterly amazing. I think you should too. Let's see here. Profits. Offer customers alkaline water and they'll ask you what it's all about. You can describe the benefits. You can have a little leaflet or a flyer on the restaurant table explaining what it does and how to use it at home. Customers will notice a difference in the taste of the food prepared. They'll respect your efforts and awareness of technology that avoids health risks, and they'll look at you as a leader in advancing the industry. Every customer is an open door to explain and share the product with. And then other restaurants are going to follow suit. I'm looking for leaders in the restaurant industry. Marketing. I'll educate staff about Kangen water free of charge. I mean, I can come in and any of us can come in and we can explain the benefits of Kangen and how it can do what, this PowerPoint is designed to help people understand what Kangen water does. It's easy. That's what we do as distributors. Future predictions by expert Paul Zane Pilzer. Worldly renowned economist, adjunct professor, highly successful social entrepreneur, the author of 9 best-selling books and dozens of scholarly publications. He states for success in business today and in the future, the top areas of focus are health and wellness, water, and an eco-friendly environment. And as you can see from what we've described so far today, Enagic emphatically addresses all 3 of these respectively and very clearly. And it's just important that people start to understand how powerful and profound this can be, not only on your health and not only on your food quality and on reducing the chemicals and all of that, but on saving you the money that you've been duped into spending because of some cute little marketing glitch, like on the back of a smart water bottle with the white puffy clouds. They ain't got nothing to do with white puffy clouds. That water is reverse osmosis, and it's got artificial or questionable. They take out potassium and they put in potassium combined with something else. They take out magnesium, they put in magnesium, sulfate or something along those lines. Excuse me. A little frog in my throat this morning. So, for more information, contact your local Enagic distributor. On the other hand, my name is Shawn Wetzel. I'm out of Big Sky Country in Montana. You can reach me here. You can reach me at that email, and you can reach me at that website. But Wetzel Water, WETCELLWATER.com is my primary one, and I want to welcome you to check that out anytime. How restaurants stand out from the rest. And this gal here, Jody Holmes, she helped us out with this whole thing and created it for us. I bought it and I'm sharing it out there. So if you want to track her down, you can get this same PowerPoint from her for pretty cheap. So, and it's obviously very effective. So that being said, I'm going to wrap this thing up and stop my share. Hey, there you guys are. How are you? Any feedback, any comments you guys want to share? Talk to me, Dan.
I'm sorry, but I jumped on a little bit late. I tried to jump on the last couple days and couldn't get on, so I just wanted to make sure I could get on before tomorrow. But No, and when he had Steve on, Steve has some really, really good stuff on restaurants too that he could possibly share. But yeah,
Beaumont?
and the biggest thing for me is like, we need more restaurants to have this because I want places where I can feel comfortable going and eating. I mean, when I go out now, man, I mean, they put a salad in front of me, I can just smell the chlorine. It's horrible. I mean,
It's horrible. Yeah.
and your body goes through such a change when you start drinking this water that, you know, I always tell people like, 21 days after actually having the machine, just take a big handful of tap water and just put it in your mouth and swish it around and spit it out and tell me what you
Yeah.
taste. They can't believe the difference. How did I not taste that before? And so it's tough on us that like to go out and eat. I like to go places and know that the food is, cooked and cleaned in the water, and just makes a huge difference.
No, it truly does. And I even threw a little plug in there for you on the whole dimension of the soaps and how I use the chips that your friend Patty sent me that I totally took the whole order so you couldn't get any. I'm
Are you
sorry.
enjoying those?
Huh?
Are you enjoying those?
Oh, dude, listen, I took a couple pinches and I filled up that bottle. I let it sit, actually forgot about it for a couple of days. I came back, shook it up, and opened it, and it was just milky. I've used 4 loads of laundry now, and I'm not even halfway full. And you couldn't even tell the dent in the bag that I put. And I've got 2 big heaping gallon bags that look like they ran these soap chips through a cheese grater, man. I almost want to throw it on pizza. It looks so cheesy, but it's obviously soap.
And you're looking at about 4 years of laundry there for 20 bucks.
I know, man.
And people don't realize. They say to me, yeah, but the machines are expensive. And I said, but you don't understand. You're already spending the money. Let me show you how. And not only on top of it, it's a good, clean option. So you're not getting further chemicals in your clothes, in your skin. And I mean, if you sit down and really show that to a mom of 2 or 3 who's doing, 3, 4, or 5 loads a week, I mean, there's the machine right there.
That's it. No, I like it. I like it. I didn't realize you guys were on. I had the screen share thing go, so I'm glad you guys were on. Listen, yeah, Coach Menard couldn't make it this morning. I'm still struggling having the connection between the Facebook Live. I go to my Facebook Live after I open up my Zoom window, and it's not letting me go live. So I'm just doing this, and I'm recording it now. The idea is to hopefully I can save it for JJ.
There you go.
Back tomorrow night. But yeah, I'm ready to rock and roll with you tomorrow. As long as
I'll be here. I just wanted to make sure I could get on. So
no, and I didn't do it this weekend. I had a lot going on.
No, that's cool. All good, brother. Well, I'll see you guys tomorrow, man. I'm going to go run and jump in the shower. I got a busy morning.
Giddy up, my friend.
All right, brother.
Someone today. Thank you much. Good morning, Corolla. Paul, how you guys doing up there? Nobody knows. Uh-oh, I got some.
Just chilling, brother.
Chilling. The resident tree climber is in the house.
I got to meet Bob Wright last night.
Nice.
Yeah.
He's a pretty down-to-earth dude, man. I mean, I don't know him. I never met him, but I know dang good and well he was probably as salt of the earth as he seems to be on videos, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Nice. Did you guys have a good turnout? Good meeting?
Ann had it down at her little juice bar in Mill Creek, and there was a few, 6 or 8 people.
That's it. Well, it'll come. It'll come.
Yeah. No, Annie, she's a little superstar, man. She's just the cool.
Yeah, and packing around that big old belly of hers too. I love it.
Yeah, she's
a motivated sister.
She's a cool chick, man. She's doing really well.
No, good for her.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, yeah, man. What'd you think of the PowerPoint? I got it from the gal Jody Holmes.
I liked it.
Yeah, just get that information if you like that stuff. She can provide it to us. I think it cost me. She made like 5 or 6 of them, 4 or 5 of them. Yeah, and I think it cost me like $75 or something like that. It wasn't that big a deal. At the end of the day, to have something of this caliber, I think it's just effective and necessary to get into restaurants,
Right.
So I just
Right.
got to figure out, instead of bringing in my big computer, what I've got to do is I've got to get my tablet figured out and be able to just go in and pop open a presentation to a, head chef or a restaurant owner, if you will,
Uh-huh.
and
Uh-huh.
roll through this in 25 minutes or so. So
Right.
that's going to be something that I just got to identify. I hate rolling into anywhere where I don't know anybody. I just don't want to be considered as some dude peddling something. But if they know me and they know what I'm about, then I have a little more of a leg in, but that's
Don't
not
let the fear
ideal.
stop you, bro. I swung in a 24-hour fitness when I was in Arkansas on a drive one day, and I'm glad I stopped because the guy had just bought a machine about a month prior to me stopping, but he was a really cool dude.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
you never know, bro. You never know.
No, I hear you there, my man.
I
Well,
didn't know a soul in Arkansas. Hell, I was stopping it everywhere I went by.
nice. Nice. No, that's it, man. That's it. I've just really tried to build my business on a warm market based thing, and I got to step out of that parameter a little bit. So,
Yeah, if I had as many people as you had, bro, I would know what to do with myself.
yeah, and what's unfortunate is a lot of them still don't have the technology. You know, they all kind of flirt around and haunt my Facebook posts and stuff, and they might like them and stuff, but yeah, they're still without Kongan machines, and they've been following and liking my stuff for years, and they're still sitting in the bleachers watching the show go by as they're all waiting for the wheels to come off until they
Isn't that incredible? I was talking to a gal the other night, a friend of mine's girlfriend. He just started dating her. She's a massage therapist, and she mentioned that, and I started BSing with her, and she's like, "Oh yeah, some of my clients bring me that water once in a while when I want some." And I said, "Really? When you want some?" I said, "You drank it and you don't want it every day?" And she's like, "Oh, it is really good. Trust me." She said, "But I just can't see spending that kind of money." And I was like, seriously, you like the water, but you can't see spending that kind of money, huh?
yeah,
She's like, well, she says they told me they had a loaner machine that they would lend me if I wanted to try it. And I'm like, who are these people? So she told me their name, and I'm like, oh, I don't know them. I said, huh, interesting. I said, why would you want to borrow their machine knowing that the water's that great?
yeah,
She's like, oh, I just like to test it out a little bit. And I was
yeah.
like, fuck. And her boyfriend starts to tell me, oh, yeah, I can buy a cheaper machine than that. And I'm like, dude, stop.
Right
Stop.
on.
Yeah.
No,
Stop.
I hear you, bud. I hear you. And then I've heard there's distributors out there buying crap ionizers they're finding online, and then they're using them as their loaners, and they're charging people up to $100, $200 a month
No way.
to rent the machine.
No way.
No, I've learned that, and I think that's just abhorring, man. It's like, no way.
That's ridiculous.
You have the nerve to do that unless you're just trying to just rip people. I mean, if you're going to charge them that, just help them finance a machine and make it.
Right.
But no, there's a lot of posers out there. There's a lot of people out there that are a little gollier than you'd like them to be. And what can you do, man? So,
Wow. Yeah.
you just got to keep trucking along. But hey, listen, I got a boogie. I got to spend now. I got to figure out how to stop this recording.
Excellent, brother.
And then